Alright, what's up guys? So, as you can see today, I am playing Warlock, and this is the build I've been playing. I started playing it like yesterday-ish, and I am gonna say this to start off with, I am not a Warlock expert by any means. Obviously, you guys know I am a fighter player. However, melee Warlock is definitely up my alley, just a bit. So just throwing that out there for any inconsistency I may say regarding magical power, things like that, because obviously, like I said, I am not super familiar with how exactly magical power or magic damage and that type of thing works. There may be some things I say that are not necessarily true. However, most of the information I'm giving should be relatively accurate. And even if I don't know what I'm talking about, I at least know how to build and play the build. So that's good enough, right? Anyways, let's get right into it. So, as you guys can see, the build I am playing is Phantomized Blow of Corruption. And there are a lot of different ways you can play this build. You could play Demon or Blood Pact over Phantomize. You know, you could play spells, Blow of Corruption, a lot of different things, a lot of different gear pieces. Because as you see here, my gear is very, very weird to say the absolute least. I mean, I have a spanking helm, a frock, riveted, wizard shoes, padded legs. Like, pretty much you could take any single one of these pieces outside of riveted gloves, and they're not the norm to see. And considering I'm on Warlock, riveted gloves are still pretty weird. So to start off with, the whole point of this build is just have really high magic power bonus. Not that it's like mine's like super high, but have like high magic power bonus, and then you kill people with Crystal Sword plus Blow of Corruption. As you see, Blow of Corruption does do 12 magical damage flat with 75% magical damage scaling, and then on top of that, you're doing more magic damage with Crystal Sword. If any of you are familiar with my old fighter videos, I say old, not super old, but like the Smite fighter stuff I did during multiclassing, this is very, very similar. This is not a new Warlock build by any means. This is, you know, very, very normal to see on Warlocks. And then my spin on it is just not necessarily different. However, I'm just kind of stacking decks a lot more than you normally would, I guess. Usually I'm wearing Spangen Helm, Frock, that type of thing. And then the perk choices for this build, like I said, there are a couple different things you can do. With this specific layout, what I like going is Dark Reflection, Demon Armor, Anti-Magic, and Shadow Touch. If you want to drop the Spangen Helm for a different helmet, you can do so, and then you can drop Demon Armor for, like, Malice. But truthfully speaking, there's nothing here that's, like, particularly good. The only thing that Demon Armor is, like I said, like, the only thing you're dropping this for is Malice, or maybe not Dark Enhancement, Soul Collector, wherever that is. Soul Collector, and that's literally just to buff your Dark Reflection damage, which, to be fair, is a pretty big, you know, that's a pretty big increase, because this effectively just becomes like a Dark Bolt, and against any melee, that's going to hit them very, very hard. But going Demon Armor does feel nice because it lets you wear some pretty good pieces of armor, like the Spangen Helm, for example. Stats on Spangen Helm are really, really good. It's got high armor, low move speed penalty, and it's got good base stats, Agi Dex, both of which you want. And there are other things you could go, for example, you could go Chappelle, you can go Dark Plate, you know, you can go all these other you can do all these other pieces that are really, really good as well. However, I'm building a bit of a faster build, not to mention this build isn't like, as you see, like most of my gear, like it's not very good, right? Like I'm wearing blues, I'm wearing off-meta pieces, I'm wearing a bunch of random stuff. And then moving back to the perks, like I said, then you take Anti-Magic, because this is just like one of the best defensive perks in the game. 25% magic damage reduction against everything except Divine Magic. Fantastic. So even though right here it says I'm 23.5, really I'm 47.5%. So I'm almost 50% MR just kind of existing naturally, which is really, really good. A lot of cases, like the things that's hard for this build to fight are range characters, because, you know, you don't really have a super good distance closer other than Phantomize, which, to be fair, is very, very good. But if you're against a wizard, you know, and you try to Phantomize at them, then you're just going to be, like, kind of getting cooked by spells. So you kind of have to walk at them to cover the distance, play corners, that type of thing. Then, last perk, taking Shadow Touch. Just 2 true magic damage, non-scaling, and heals you for 2 health on hit per hit. You are a melee build, so at the end of the day, this is extra damage. This is effectively like having a blue Phoenix Choker on for your Crystal Sword. So, you know, two free true damage on hit, can't complain, and a little bit of healing back. Mostly isn't going to make the difference in a fight, but it's still nice, and like I said, your only other options are something like Malice or Soul Collector, so it's not really worth it to go those. And then for your skills, obviously Blow of Corruption is the no-brainer, because, you know, it's kind of the whole build is built around that. Like, you can still do stuff without Blow of Corruption, but with Blow of Corruption up, it is definitely at its best. And then Phantomize, what I'm using. I was using Blood Pact, and sorry, literally like my old videos, Blood Pact is better in team modes, like duos and trios. However, in solos, the downside to running Blood Pact is there are a lot of situations where you're just not really going to be able to use it. You know, like if you run into a person and you're like, oh shit, I need to transform, That's a lot of time it takes to actually transform, like, pop Blood of Corruption, then transform. Okay, now I can fight. Most people are going to have run away from you, or they're going to have killed you before you do it. Specifically rogues, that is one of like the big issues I've run into running Blood Pact previously, is if if a rogue catches you, or like, a landmine or whatever, assuming they don't have Cutthroat, then Phantomize can absolutely save your life. Even if they do have Cutthroat, if they don't kill you before it ends, which it's possible they don't. I mean, yeah, they probably will, but it's possible they don't. If they don't kill you for Cutthroat ends, you can pop Phantomize and run away. If you have Blood Pact, that's not really going to matter. And most of the time with this build, Blood Pact probably isn't going to, like, there are definitely some fights that would make it different to Phantomize, but I honestly don't think there's that many. Like, the main thing that it's really good against, or good about, is just making you tankier. However, you lose the defensive capabilities of Phantomize and the distance covering capabilities of Phantomize. So it's a trade-off, right? Like, yeah. You could take it if you want to, but I think this is more of a team mode thing than solos. There are Blood Pact builds for solos, but for all intents and purposes, this one right here is not it. So, moving on to the gear. Crystal Sword, obviously, kind of the magic damage weapon. This is the main weapon you're going to be using. And then your offhand, Falchion plus Heater Shield. This is really nice because, you can block arrows, you can block some spells, a lot of these things. There are also certain weapons that I think Falchion and Heater works better against. For example, I'll make sure the clip is in this video, but there's a Barbarian I fought, and if you're fighting a Barbarian, Crystal Sword really just doesn't do what you want it to. So, because, they usually have a pretty high MR, pretty high HP, and this is a two-handed weapon, you leave yourself vulnerable to their weapon. So, using the Falchion plus Heater Shield is usually your better option. You can block them, hit in between their attacks, that type of thing. Then for the gear pieces, like I said, I have Spangenhelm, which I actually like quite a bit. You could go Chappelle, you could go, like Leather Cap, you go a lot of different pieces here, but Spangenhelm gives Agi Dex, which I really, really like. Good move speed benefits, and, good action speed, because your action speed is pretty low, and you generally, and you want it to be pretty high for the Crystal Sword, because swinging a Crystal Sword with no action speed feels really, really bad. And in that same vein, we have the Frock. Frock gives armor, MR, and dexterity. Move speed penalty isn't too high, only -6. And then, this is the best part about this build is that pretty much everything I have on here, relatively speaking, is stuff I've been getting, like, for really cheap, because most of these gear pieces are cheap. Like, this Frock with 3 on stats was like 300 gold. Double HP padded leggings, because my HP was kind of low. These were like another 300 gold. These things are not very expensive. That's the best part of this build, is this build can use really ugly pieces of gear that no one ever really uses, and still get a really big benefit. Because that's the best part, is you don't need that many stats per se. Like, you don't need a ton of damage, you don't need a ton of true, like, you don't need to be running a purple Phoenix choker and that type of thing. You don't need like full purple gear with like add damage everywhere. You gotta just run mid gear, and honestly, it's almost like a cheesy build where you get to run very, very low level gear, but you can kill people in really, really high gear just because of like the merit of like your skills and the damage you can output without actually needing that much scaling to do so. Then moving on, riveted gloves. The reason I'm wearing riveted are just so I can have not a negative fizz power bonus. If you have a negative fizz power bonus, it reduces your damage, so you don't want that. So yeah, usually just try to get some strength somewhere in your build or fizz power somewhere to get that up above the negatives. Try to get like 0% plus. So that's why I have riveted gloves on. And these have will and max health, which is nice. Will is a really, really good way to get magic power bonus up to a certain level. It's, I think, the best way. Maybe magic power is better, but like as you can see, 2 will is giving me 4% magic power. So that's really, really nice. Or 4% magic power bonus, which is really, really nice. And then I'm running 2 rings of vitality, just with 1 true each, something super cheap. Necklace, 1 true magic, and then max health bonus. Like I said, super cheap gear here. My cloak was a will with 1 fizz power. The reason this was because I needed a little bit more to get above the negative range. And will gives you more magic power bonus, as you can see here. So I'm kind of double dipping in those damage stats. And then lastly, we have the wizard shoes, which I know are hilarious to wear, but double move speed wizard shoes are really cheap. Like, I'm not sure if they still are. When I checked yesterday, they were very, very cheap. Let's see, not move speed. There you go. As you can see, you could buy double move speed wizard shoes for like literally under 500 gold if you want to. Like, and these aren't even like low rolls. These are pretty high rolls on some of these. 5 flat, 1%, that type of thing. 4 flat, 1%. So they're the cheapest way to get a lot of move speed, and they also have magic power on them. Like, yes, they're not Stitch turn shoes. Like, Stitch turn shoes, in theory, like you can see my magic power bonus here, if I were to equip these, would literally not move. Okay, my bad. So apparently 5 will is completely useless. That's just on me, guys. but it also would give me way more MR and a little bit more move speed. So it's actually surprising. Huh. Magical powers OP, I guess. Damn. Bro, these people have been crazy. Bro, wizard shoes are OP. Tell the masses. But anyways, yeah, that is gonna probably wrap it up for the video. Sorry, the video for, you know, like the guide part of the video. And, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Catch you guys later. Peace. Are they down below? It's a fucking druid. I mean, I can't kill this guy even if I want to, bro. Like, it's just a waste of my time to try. But, like, loose trousers, tattered, riveted. He's a bear. DM for better than fighter? Absolutely. Absolutely. You gonna, like, try to murder me? That guy not phantomizing there is insane. That shit better be on cooldown. I guarantee you anything that didn't hit him. It's the wrong weapon. Hit him though. I got anti-magic, motherfucker. Your curse doesn't fucking do half my health bar in one curse. Oh my god, we have teamers.
Another one. What's up, man?
God, I want to kill him. God, he's full plate.
Chilling.
God, he looks so fucking killable. God, he's so killable. He's a plate fighter. Oh, I want to kill him so bad. Oh, this guy's Cobalt on. Oh, like, how do I... Oh, my God, I'm gonna... Fuck, he's alive. It's fine. You gotta close the door, you die. Not if I pull up my falchion. Well, that's about what I expect to happen. That actually caught me. On the bright side, I have like all the room in the world to kite him around on. Oh. Why you gotta be weird, man? Why can't you just let me kill that guy? Why do you gotta try to kill me when I'm trying to kill him? I mean, I have Phantom Eyes. I can run from him. I have Falchion. I could kill him. I can kill this guy. Fuck it. I can kill him. I've decided. Oh, so now you want to run? Bro, what?